Ladies and gentlemen, it is your host of Hope Media, Andre Norman, and I'm still with the best special in series I will ever do, the Mom Edition. We are in the building and blessed with yet another phenomenal mom who has the greatest voice and the greatest story. That is, she loves her child and she loves all of you, and she wants to see you do and be better. So I want to say welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. You know, I got a whole tribe of 650,000 people rolling with me,
Oh, wow. That's
all
amazing.
watching you.
Okay.
So what would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Ursula.
Hello, Ursula. And where are you from?
I was actually born here, so I'm an original Atlantan, but I grew up in Birmingham,
Birmingham,
Alabama.
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 So born in Georgia, moved to Alabama.
Yes.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to high school in Birmingham.
How was that?
It's different. I was in the M to M program, so I was being bused.
What is M to M program?
Majority to minority.
Okay.
What, minority to majority?
There was
So
something.
yeah,
There was
yeah,
busing
one of
in the
those.
white schools.
One of those. Yeah. So I was being bused across town, so I had to get up early every morning. You kind of test and you get accepted into school. So I took the test and I was accepted into all, and I chose one that was that I liked the best, that I thought offered the best for my academic career as a child.
What was your academic premise about? What did you like to do?
I was pretty good at everything. I was good at, some people are good at math, science. I was kind of like I was good at everything. I was good at everything.
Nothing wrong with that.
Good at everything. So.
Well-rounded child, as they would say.
Supposedly.
So what was it like going to an all-white school, or predominantly like white school?
Very different from my neighborhood school.
The black schools.
That
We
I
call
was
them black
used
schools.
to. Yeah, from the black school. Very different from that. It was a wealthy side of town, so I got to see wealth and this is old Birmingham, Alabama, old money. So I got to see wealth then I realized we were poor.
You didn't know you was poor until
I
you
didn't
got
know
to
I
high
was
school.
poor. Yeah, I didn't know I was poor. So I got to see a level of wealth.
So you realized life wasn't the same for you as the kids on the other side of town.
Right. But my mom was hardworking, so we were like in a working class black neighborhood, but it still didn't compare to the level of wealth that I would see. People had elevators in their homes and stuff like that. So,
What's wrong with that?
Not nothing at all.
So you was going to visit them after school. You were like, whoa, what are y'all doing?
Yes.
Culture shock.
It was. But the one thing that always made me level was I was smart. So they could never take that away from me. So,
It's not, what I've learned by being around rich people is not them taking or giving. It's me accepting that I'm okay as I am.
Yes.
Because I pull up and they're like elevators, boats, yachts, summer trips. I felt funny about me. They didn't feel funny about me.
That's
Since
true.
I felt funny, I thought they felt funny. So I projected and expected them to come back with that. And they were like, Drake, you're tripping.
Yeah, that's
Just chill out, be cool.
true. Yeah.
I used to go to dinner with rich people and would order like chicken fingers because I didn't look like I was trying to be greedy and order steak or something. But they were like, we brought you to dinner to have a good time. Chicken fingers doesn't look like a good time. Please order something that you really like.
Right.
And it was hard for me to buy stuff that I knew I didn't have to pay for. That was more of a me thing than an them thing.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So what was life like in high school now that you're there?
So high school was another odd school that I tested into because I started in elementary, like middle school. So I went to elementary to black school, and middle school is where I started going to the white schools. So that continued in high school, and again being bused across town. So it's a lot because you're exhausted. All through high school, you get up at 6 a.m. And the walk to the bus stop. My grandmother would walk me to the bus stop in the morning. So it was an exhausting. Like kids that do it, you really have a desire for learning and for knowledge, because my sister got to go without testing because she was my sibling. And I think that second year in, she was like, that's it, I don't want to do it anymore. It was commitment as a child.
Yeah.
It was a commitment even as a child to do, and
So what activities did you get into? They have tons of activities at these schools.
Yeah. So the problem with me, so that's where kind of like my problem started because we lived on the other side of town. My mom was a nurse. So it was difficult for me to be involved in as many as I wanted. But she got me, so we were middle class. So I would do kind of deduce, well, like, let's see, I want to be in the band. But I know we're poor, so I need to find the best instrument that my mom can afford. And so I wanted to play the clarinet, but that needs reeds, and that's a constant cost for her. So I was like, well, if I get the flute, all I have to do is clean my flute and, be careful and don't damage my pads. And so, like, within that first year, I was first chair flute. So I was very,
You didn't even want to play the flute. You wanted clarinet.
I wanted, yeah, but I wanted to be the best. So I beat out everybody. Usually you won't make first chair, in the first year.
You made it.
Yeah.
So what other than the band, what else were you into?
I was in dance, so we did like I was really good at ballet, the ballet portion, but we did dance, modern, jazz, tap, that type of thing. So I really enjoyed dance, and I was also dance in the band. So I did that too. So
Okay.
yeah.
So was your sports teams any good there? You had something to cheer about?
No, we didn't have a good sports team. We didn't have a good sports team at all. No. So we didn't have the best band because it was a white school. So I didn't the black in Alabama and Birmingham the black bands are the one that dance, but they practice till 10 at night. That type of thing.
They lived that.
Yeah.
These kids are having fun.
Yeah.
Your kids are living it.
Yeah. So yeah, they were the band. Yeah.
So they was just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to get scholarships.
No, the black schools trying to get that's your next step.
Trying to get the Grambling and hit that thing. So did you date in high school?
Not really. Didn't start dating until college.
So where did you go?
University of Alabama. So
Okay, roll tide.
In Birmingham, UAB.
Okay, I was about to say, kind of. What do they call that? What they?
The Blazers.
Who?
The Blazers.
The Blazers?
Yes.
Well, I'm an Auburn guy.
Okay.
So let's listen. Bo Jackson, #1, full stop. Bo Jackson's that dude for me.
Yes.
We love Bo. So
Auburn does.
So,
Yes.
Listen.
It's like divided families,
Ain't no divide.
Yeah.
Everybody else is out of order. You know what I'm saying? We're cool with Charles Barkley. We cool with Cam Newton. We cool with Nick Saban. We cool with all of them. You're saying? Mm-hmm. But there's only one Bo Jackson.
Oh, okay. Can't argue with it.
Listen, we start doing sports. It turns into, this is a mom edition. I'm sorry, y'all. It's about to go to dad edition. We're going to get the dads in here. So you go to college. How's that go for you?
I end up getting pregnant dropping out.
Oh,
and
no,
getting
you're going
pregnant
too
at
fast.
21.
You get to college.
It's going
Let's
good.
get there first.
Okay.
You get to college.
Mm-hmm.
How was it like your first semester on campus?
I loved it because I just love to learn. So
you stayed on campus?
No, because I was in the city. So
You stayed home. Mm-hmm. So you're going to school. What was your major?
then a criminal justice.
Okay. Gonna be a lawyer?
I don't know what I wanted to do. I don't know why I chose that because I wanted to go to Florida A&M and be a marine biologist.
Okay.
And I ended up, I just think back then you didn't know so much about financial aid and that type of thing. And I ended up going where it was just more affordable, so.
So you meet the guy on campus that you had a baby with. What was it? Did he go to school there?
No.
What was you doing dating a boy off campus?
No, I don't know.
What was it about him? Was he like cool,
from the
smooth?
islands.
Island boy, he took that island accent?
The accent, so different, something different than you're used to.
Hey, man. Was he Jamaican?
VI, Virgin Islands.
Oh, he's from Virgin Islands.
Crucian.
Oh, my sister's from the Virgin Islands.
Really?
Yeah, St. Thomas is in the building.
Yes.
So you got one. She got a St. Thomas husband.
Yes, they're good when they're good, and when they're not.
She's in the So was he from the British Virgin Islands or the American Virgin Islands?
U.S.
Yeah, St. Thomas.
USVI, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you met him. He was like, hit you with that accent. Caught you. So boom, you have your first kid. Baby name?
Leonard.
Leonard. After that?
Yes.
That's definitely an island.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't know
is.
any
It
Leonards
is.
growing up. So when you went home and told your mom, "Mom, I'm pregnant with Leonard," what did she say?
Ooh, cause mm, well,
You had to tell her at some point.
there you go. At some point, cause I delayed it as
How
long as
long?
I
How long did
could.
you hold out?
Ooh, long time. Long time. So when I told her, it was like,
It's
nothing
too
could,
late.
yeah, it was just like, yeah, I was, because I know she was going to be disappointed.
Why would
I
she be
knew,
disappointed?
well, I wasn't married. That just wasn't, it's not the plan you have for your children. That's
Did
not,
Leonard stick with you?
I didn't stick with him.
Huh?
I didn't stick with
The
him.
accident didn't last?
No, I didn't stick with him. We had the second child, and then we split.
So the second baby name?
Ian,
Ian. So you had Leonard and you had Ian, then you said adios.
yes.
So you took your babies went home to mom's house?
And we came back to the States. Oh, I left that part out. We moved to the islands.
Oh, you might have seen my sister down there.
I left that part out.
I gotta call
Yes.
my sister to find out what part of the island she lived on.
Yes. Because it's so small. I think it's like 18 miles long, something like that.
Tiny.
Very tiny.
When I was 16, I'm running around robbing and stealing and all the rest of the stuff. My favorite sister, Imani, I went to her job to take her to lunch one day. And I took her to lunch. I had a pocket full of money. I'm trying to impress my sister. I pulled my money out. She snatched me up. She took, "What are you doing with all that money?" I said, "No, I want to take you to lunch, sis." She didn't go to lunch. She took me to the bank. She made me open a bank account, put all my money in the bank, gave me $40, put the rest of it in the bank, got a bank book, old school. And she said, "I'm going to send you to St. Thomas. What you can do is buy a little boat and then let the neighborhood kids use your boat to go fish. Then then you can sell the fish to the hotels." She knows all the hotel people because she used to live there. Her husband's from there. They come back to the States. And you're going to rent the boats to the kids, and they'll fish, and you just sit on the beach and collect money. St. Thomas seemed so far. I didn't go.
You didn't do it.
I went to jail instead. So you went to St. Thomas. How'd you like island life?
I loved it. I wanted to stay. Again, like, I guess, just something new, something different. I feel like that's when the travel bug kind of hit me or whatever, I don't know. And because most people would have had a fear of leaving, but I left and I wasn't scared or whatever. And I had plans. I wanted to stay because we broke up, and I got a job.
You stayed on the island
and
after?
I stayed.
My sister
so-
stayed down into the hurricane, and right for the Olympics, I think it was '95. The hurricane came. My sister didn't play hurricanes. She moved to Atlanta after the hurricane.
That's something new. Yeah, that's like we do tornadoes, but a hurricane is on a
When the water attacks, it's different.
yes.
What'd you do for your first hurricane?
I was scared, but not so much scared because we were used to Alabama bad tornadoes, but the looting, I never seen anything like looting. So they was looting. I was like, what is going on? Like that was very scary. And then the islands are more equipped, for the hurricanes. They have
haven't ever yet.
cisterns and that type of thing. You have generators. So we were prepared on that end, but I had never seen anything like people looting. That was scary.
They
That
just
was
out
scary.
there getting their thing on.
That was very scary. So I didn't like hurricanes. I don't like hurricanes at
You
all.
like the back end of the hurricane.
Yeah, I didn't like anything about the hurricanes.
So you came back to the States
Yep.
and went to mom's house?
Yep.
Got the
Yep.
two little ones and you with mom. And what do you do now?
Working and raising kids.
Full-time mom, full-time job. And at what point did you notice your kids were like into sports, they were into athletics, they was into academics? What were they into?
Yeah, I was trying to do all the right things, all the, things that you're supposed to do as a parent. So they were involved in golf. I had them in golf, basketball. They were in 100 Black Men, so different organizations to have like a male mentor present. So I was doing everything, I thought to do, for a male child,
Right.
for a male child. So
And then They did it for a while, and then until they didn't.
So my younger one is the one that's incarcerated, and he has like autism. So even with that, I was advocate, with the IEPs and that type of thing, making sure his, they gave him accommodations for learning in school, and so I was present, through all of that, and his is just really, I got him out of school, and on his last IEP, I'm just excited that he's graduated, regular diploma, that type, because he's high functioning. But I looked back over everything, and the last IEP it said occupational therapy. So I never got him that, and I see now that probably was a key component or something that was important for him to be able to navigate normal life like you and I.
Right.
So.
So he graduates high school. You in the crowd cheering?
Oh yeah, excited, so proud of him, because he never gave me any problems, never problems.
Was mom there? Everybody's there.
My dad was alive then, yeah, he was real close to my father, so yeah.
So everybody's like cheering them on all the way across the stage.
Yep.
We had a black family that screamed like when you were supposed to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They were like,
Yeah.
okay, everybody be quiet. You like, yeah, all right.
Yes.
You look like the person who's like, I'm not paying attention.
That's me.
That's my baby.
That's me.
So he comes across the stage. Where'd y'all go for dinner? What you do to celebrate his graduation?
We did. We went to eat afterwards. Some nondescript restaurant. We went because my dad took me. He kind of cheap, so we went somewhere. we went somewhere. I can't.
You just
can't
went.
remember.
You had a good time.
Somewhere. Yeah. He was happy.
He got to hang out with his grandfather. Got to hang out with mom, grandma. It's going well. So at what point was he ever in trouble prior to the first time?
Never in trouble. This is his first thing that happened.
So you're home. You're at work. One day your phone rings and it says Ian's locked up.
I didn't even have a call. I had the police knocking on my door in person.
They knock on your door. You open the door and there's police. They say, "What?" You're like, "What are you doing here?"
Correct, because I'm like, but then you have almost like a level of entitlement because like I'm an upstanding citizen. Like, okay, officer, how can I help you? But it was a big mistake. I should have never said anything to them at all. I mean, I think they would have proceeded with what they did, but they would have had to do it in a different manner.
Right.
Had I not just opened my door and let them come in.
So you let him come in.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, your son gets arrested.
Yes.
So they take him that day?
When they come back and me letting them in, I feel.
I mean, I'm not going to the detail, but
yeah.
They came back and arrested him at the house.
Gotcha.
So watching your son walk out the door with handcuffs, what are you thinking?
I just fell down to my knees. I just dropped to the ground. And they came in like a SWAT team. We were in apartments at that time, and they went to my leasing office. They had a film crew out, so they did it was a big thing, it's very embarrassing. Probably like 12, they had machine guns.
Couldn't understand it. They knocked you. It sounds like they knocked your door down. Was it a bullhorn or was it a door
I opened
knock?
it so they didn't have to do that.
Okay.
I opened it so they didn't have to do, but they probably would have, definitely. They probably definitely would have.
They come in, they put your son in handcuffs, and they take him out.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there thinking, what? This is crazy.
Yeah. And scared for him, and I just got on the phone with a friend, and I happen to know someone, and they put themselves on record as his person. So
His attorney.
Yes. So no one could talk to him because I didn't know, with his disability, they are people pleasing. They want to please, and I know with a lot of people, that works against them. Yeah,
Definitely.
That works against them.
So he's arrested. They take him to county jail.
He's in county.
At some point. Mm-hmm. Does he call home?
Mm-hmm, definitely. Yeah.
What was that first phone call like?
He was scared, frightened. And then I'm trying to tell him, he's trying to talk. I'm like, don't talk, just, that type of thing.
How
So
were you feeling?
I didn't know what to do. I
There's
didn't know what to do.
no website, no handbook, no nothing on what to do.
It was nothing, nothing out there.
So at some point, you go see him?
This is the height of the pandemic, so
No visits.
no visits. Very limited, then there's always, the internet's down. So very, very limited, even video visits, very limited video visits. So, and, with his disability, loud noises, sounds, those type of things are, disorient him. So, I just didn't know what to do. I'm just praying for him. That's basically just in prayer and reaching out to some friends, it was like some friends. And then eventually I, went on social media and, there's a few things out there. So just, kind of started reaching out to some of the groups that were present on social media. But
So what was the first video visit like for you? When you seen his face come across the screen?
I was excited. I was glad to see that he was okay. Just kind of calm me just to see his face,
There are some people who say people in prison shouldn't have tablets and video visits. What do you say to them?
I would disagree with that. I think it's very important. I think it's very important for the parent and the person that's incarcerated.
What's the importance to you as a parent?
Just the ability to see that your child is intact, that they're safe, that they're, not bruised or, hurt.
What do you think it does for him?
I kind of keep them hopeful, calm them, give them a little peace in the situation, that they're in.
Is he still in the county?
No, he's recently sentenced.
So did he go to trial or did he plead guilty?
We took a plea.
So you're sitting in court. You agreed to a plea. What did the judge say in court the sentence was?
You want me to tell you?
The sentence, just the sentence.
It's 20 served 12.
20 served 12. When he says 20 served 12, it became real. Because before it's all discussion and this is the part I used to hate. We used to make a plea deal, then you go in the courtroom and they'd be like, did anybody promise you anything? Back in the days, we used to have to say no. I don't know how they do it now. They'd be like, you have to say no, and that 3 minutes between when you say no and they sentence you is the longest 3 minutes of my life. Because the judge says, I don't have to go with what they promised you. I can do X, Y, Z. So I'm like, I got to trust these people? For a whole 3 minutes, I'm holding my breath that he doesn't change his mind. 99 times they give you what they agreed to.
Okay.
There's always a one in blue moon. But I just never saw it. But I know every blue moon, somebody gets his own. I'm holding my breath for 3 minutes. He hits the gavel. He says 20 served 12. What do you think?
I've lost my son.
What's your plan to get him back?
Just working hard and reaching out to different organizations and just trying to see if someone out there could help us and guide us, because it's new. I have no frame of reference. Really, I'm really navigating this just with the help of others.
How do you deal with your son's disability while being incarcerated? It's one thing for him to go in and be a young, healthy guy that knows what he's doing and can move himself around. But having a disability is a vulnerability.
Very much. Try to make him aware of that it makes you more vulnerable. And they do something that's called masking anyway, and I just kind of tell them to kind of work on that, just and watch, be watchful, and I tell them to, pray for protection. I just tell them, constantly pray for protection. You know,
Does he get phone calls now?
yes, so I get to talk to them mostly every day.
So what happens if the call doesn't come in?
I'm nervous. I'm like nervous, panicky. I can't eat. I can't sleep. So when I came here yesterday, I had just spoken with him, and I hadn't talked to him 2 days before. So I almost didn't come, as I was just a nervous wreck.
These calls are therapeutic for you.
Very much.
So how was it like being away from your child?
It's terrible. I've never been away from him. We took a trip for the holidays. I just feel guilty about everything. I feel guilty about eating. I feel guilty about sleeping in a bed. I feel guilty about going on a trip. I just feel guilty about everything because my son can't do it because I'm doing it without him. Just feel guilty about everything.
You know he's watching you right now.
I didn't know.
Little E's watching. What do you want to say then? What do you want to say to him?
No, well, I know he knows I love him, so I love you and I miss you. And you're not alone.
Did you know he was coming here today?
No.
You didn't, he's gonna be surprised. He's like, "That's my."
I'm not sure they have tablets, though.
I'm sure they have. Most every state has tablets. What state is he in?
He's here in Georgia.
They have tablets.
Okay.
He's like, "That's
I'm
my
excited.
mom."
I'm excited.
Hit him with the mom smile.
I'm excited.
He wants to see the mom
I'm
smile.
excited. I'm joking. I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, I hope he is watching. I hope he's watching.
So what do you want to tell him about you?
What you mean? What you mean?
Your mom.
Like who I am, or
He heard about that part. Did he know this? Did he know about your background?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't.
Hey, but my mom went to all white school. Was in the band.
They used to pick on me and say, like, I went to school in the old days, they'll say something like that. Because I'm like, I don't understand why things are so hard for you guys, and why you're struggling so hard. And they're like, that's because you went back to school in the old days and all, So I was like, okay. I was like, okay.
No, my ex-wife is an academic. So she went to the top high school in New York, Stuyvesant. Then she went to Harvard. Then she went to MIT. Top of her class all the way through. Hair like yours, black girl from New York. And we have our son. And she just thinks he should get it like she got it.
That's what I thought.
No. You had a gift. My son's mom had a gift. Kid didn't get the gift. Some things pass on, some things don't. You can't pass on the I love school to everybody. You thought since you love school, he should love school.
I did.
It don't work like that.
They didn't like school. They didn't like school, no.
My son goes. He does great at it, but he's not an academic. It broke his mother's heart when she had to come to conclude that he didn't want to sit in the room and read books all day. And forego going outside, didn't want to talk to girls. She didn't do anything. She literally sat in a classroom or in a library every day, all day. And she loved it. He was one of those?
They had like 2 books almost all the time. I'm walking around carrying 2. I'm like reading 2 books at a time, yeah, I love to read.
So what's your message to other kids? See, what happens is when I was a young boy, we used to chase after girls because that's what you do. What I didn't understand, a lot of girls had been through abuse. And when they were dating us, we were more refuge than boyfriends. They weren't trying to go home. They weren't trying to go to the person who was hurting them. So they would come with me or date a friend just so they can say this is normal. Because what's happening at home isn't normal. I thought I had good game, but I wasn't good game. It was just they didn't want to go home. And they could say, this is my choice. I love this guy, he loves me, and it's our thing versus the thing that they were living. And so I didn't know how to speak to or be kind to or help through or support the girls that I was dating or being with through high school because I didn't understand their problems. I spent 14 years in prison. Nobody gave us any insight to working with people with disabilities. So for all the guys in jail who probably never been told about kids with disabilities or young men with disabilities and their families and how they look at it, because we're in a dog-eat-dog world. This is Hyenaville. And it's not about being thoughtful, being kind, being open. So I need you to give those guys who aren't dealing with disabilities the mom's message on being kind, not just to your son, but to anybody they see inside struggling.
Yeah, my message would be to be kind because, it's almost they have like an innocence or a pureness about them, that because they don't, oftentimes they don't see things the way we do, and they almost like how animals have that unconditional, like love. They're very loyal, trusting, and that type of thing. So I would just say just to be kind, to those people that may have something that makes them a little different.
I'm going to give you a copy of my book. There's a section in it. I'm in the dorm one day, and the kid's getting, an adult man is getting picked on. I'm about to say a kid. He's an adult man. He's like 6'6", but he was special needs. And the kids and other guys are picking on him because it was something fun to do. I used to be short as a kid. I was 5'1" when I started high school. I was in the fours all through middle school. I was a midget. And I got tall later. So long story short is I hate bullies for a multitude of reasons. So when I saw this guy getting picked on, it struck a chord in me. So I wasn't being some altruistic guy. I'm like, yo, leave him alone. Leave him alone. And they left him alone. And the guy thanked me. He said, thanks, man. He introduced himself. His name was Bob. So he said, I said, oh, I'm Dre. I'm Bob. Cool. I said, don't worry about it. I did it for me, not for him. I don't like bullies. Now, had they been robbing him, I might have minded my business. Had they been stabbing him, I might have minded my business. But they were bullying him. And I felt that. So I stepped in. So long story short, Bob would say hi to me when he came in the unit. Hey, hi, Andre. I'd be like, hi, Bob. And we would do that. Then we moved out of the unit. We was in different units now. But once a week, someplace on the yard, we'd pass each other. And he'd always say, hi, Andre. I'd say, hi, Bob. He had no understanding of who I was or my status, which in my mind, at the time, meant something. To the rest of the world, it meant nothing. But I had status in the jail. And he was technically just some random guy. So one day I'm walking through the program building. I walk by the door. I look in and I see Bob. I said, man, Bob always says hi to me. Let me go back and say hi to Bob. So I walk into the room. I say, hi, Bob. This is hi, Andre. I said, who's this? Who's this? He was sitting with another guy. I said, this is Natan. I said, what are y'all doing? He said, we're studying. And something about Natan was different. So I said, hey, can I study with you? They said, yeah. And I studied with Natan for like the next 4 years. He became my #1 mentor. And he taught me how to be human. He taught me accountability. He taught me respect. He taught me attitude. He taught me forgiveness. He taught me servanthood. Everything I need to know to be human, Natan taught me. Wow. And he's my #1 mentor from 1994 to 2024. Wow. 30 years he's been my mentor. I only have him because I stood up for Bob. Wow. Had I just not my business, I could even have helped him and walked away. But I didn't have the kindness or the attitude of this. I didn't have to go back and say hi. He didn't even see me. I saw him. But I just went in to show kindness. As a result of me showing kindness to Bob, I got the greatest mentor of my life. Wow. So sometimes the blessings are being hidden like people like your son. Wow. So he might be your blessing. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because God's watching how you treat people. And I was rewarded for my kindness with the greatest gift I could have ever been given. Wow. So your son might be somebody's blessing. I hope so. Bob was mine. So before we go, what's your hopes and your plans for your son when he comes home?
I hope he'll be able to be independent and come out and have a good life. and that we'll be able to travel together.
Take him on the
And
road.
yes, yes, I want us to be able to take some trips together. So
Well, good news. Because he's a felon, doesn't mean he can't travel. As long as he's not on supervision, state or federal parole, or county, or probation, and he doesn't have any child support, doesn't sound like he has kids, he can travel any place in the world except Canada.
oh,
I've been to like
okay.
26 countries, right?
Oh,
I've gotten Australia, Sweden, Saudi Arabia, Bahamas, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Panama. I go down a list. Sweden, Germany. You know what I'm saying? I've been all over the world. Trinidad and Tobago. I've been St. Lucia. I've been all over the place. Puerto Rico, even though it's a part of the country. London, Paris, Belgium, Amsterdam. All as a felon.
that's exciting.
The
Okay.
day I got off supervision, I went and applied for my passport. And all I did was go into the post office, fill out the paperwork, drop it in the box, and about 6 weeks later, it showed up at my house.
All right.
The thing that they're going to look for in the passport office is he on supervision? Does he owe child support? And is he a U.S. citizen? Those are the three things they check. He's a U.S. citizen. He doesn't have child support. He just needs to be off supervision.
Okay.
And it's going to come in the mailbox. Now, if he comes home on supervision, he could technically get one, but he probably won't. The parole officer has to sign off on it, which probably means it's not going to happen because they're not going to give you the ability to run in their minds. But he can still travel to the U.S. You go any place in the continental U.S., which is plenty of places to
Start
see.
there. Yeah.
So if he comes home on supervision, I've been to the Grand Canyon, phenomenal. Grand Canyon is my favorite place. Of all places I've been in America, Grand
You
Canyon
like
is it.
Grand Canyon?
It's crazy. You have to physically see it to really understand it. Postcards do it no justice. Utah, when the seasons were changing, I was going to an event. I'm a speaker, so I'm driving up this hill in the back of this truck, and it's like the snow was melting. There's like little streams going. There was like a werewolf or something on the side of the highway. I'm like, the only thing I'm a dude from the block. Grew up in the penitentiary. I said, this is beautiful. Never thought it like that in my life, but I had no other way to say it or describe it. This is beautiful. When I was in Grand Canyon, this is awesome. There's no other way to describe
I
it.
heard it's breathtaking. Yeah.
I didn't do breathtaking. That's the female version of awesome.
Okay.
There are places to go in the U.S. that they'd be extremely, extremely happy to see. So, but once you get that probation or parole clear, sky's the limit.
Okay.
I just took my son to Mexico. His ticket was $421 round trip. That's not. People play it for sneakers now.
That's true. That's true.
You
That's
pair
true.
of sneakers will cost you $400. I paid $800 once. Took my son shopping. Oh, Dad, I want to get one more pair. All right, he goes in. He comes out. He gives me the bag. I run down here and get a hat. My phone beeps from the credit card, and it said $800. I'm like, that's not right. So I get out the car with the sneakers, go and say, yo, man, my phone beeped. This is $800. They only came out one pair of sneakers. They said, yeah, those are the original Jordans. I said, original nothings. This is $800. He said, yeah, that's what they cost. I said,
Yeah,
well,
they're high.
you need to take these back. He said, we don't do returns.
Oh,
I was like, what? My mother almost killed me for asking for a $20 pair of sneakers when I was in middle school. $20, she almost killed me. This kid just bought a pair of $800 retro Jordans. I'm like, are you kidding me?
those are nice though. I like
Fuck you
sneakers.
with that.
Those are nice.
That was round trip tickets for two people to Mexico.
That's true now. Can't take an experience.
He wore them things like they were slippers. I wanted to beat him. Not literally, but I'm like, dude, you have to take care of those. Didn't wash them, didn't clean them, played basketball in them. I'm like, dude, I don't think that's how that goes.
No.
Spoiled kids. You're going to have fun spoiling him when he comes home.
I'm gonna be excited. Very excited.
Does
Can't
he-
wait.
Does he eat island food or does he eat regular food?
Like regular food, because they have like palliative issues, certain textures and stuff, that, when they have a disability. So certain textures and stuff. So mostly regular foods.
Gotcha.
So
Does he know you're lucky to have you?
I'm lucky to have him. I'm lucky to have him.
You're not gonna cut him loose?
No.
He got in trouble, though. He had a SWAT team coming to your house.
Oh, jeez. That was stressful. But no, I can't cut him loose.
Come on, he had the SWAT team surround your door.
That
He
was pretty bad.
embarrassed you to the whole
Oh,
housing
boy.
project.
I
You
was,
ain't cutting him loose?
no.
Why not?
It's my son.
He did something bad. They said.
That's what they say.
You sticking with him?
No, I'm sticking with him.
For how long?
Till the end.
What can he... You sure?
I'm positive. I'm positive.
You positive?
Yeah.
You sure about this one?
I'm positive.
Okay. Just want to make sure. So my mother told me, she told somebody in an interview one time, I've been disappointed many a times, but never will I disown them. That was her line. Of everything she's ever said in my entire life, that rings out the loudest.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't see it coming.
That's a mother.
Yeah. My mom was super cool. So how's the weekend been for you?
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. Because I'm newer, some of the other parents are further in than me. I'm past embarrassment, that type of thing, but I think I've been really in a deep isolation. And so just having people with a common experience has been just amazing. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing experience just to know I'm not alone. I knew that, but, just to see people surviving, and I haven't seen them yet. I haven't had a visitation yet. So my first visitation will be coming up the second week of March. So, I'm excited about that. Just pensive, just on edge, because when I was hearing someone said, I think you said that they maybe like he's in the hole and you can't. I was like, what? I was like, that can happen. Something like that can happen, because it's a long drive.
So
It's a long
before
drive.
you drive, when you call up to the prison, the question you ask is not, is he there? You can ask that question, is he there? They're going to say yes or no. Now, the experienced mom says, is he allowed to have visits today?
Okay,
Which is a distinctly different question than, is he there?
very much.
So, is he there? Yep. You hang up, you drive out to the prison, or he's not allowed to have visits today. His unit's on lockdown, or he's in a hole, or whatever the scenario is. He's on a COVID test, or whatever, quarantine, you never know. So, after you ask, is he there? The second and most important question is he allowed visits today? Because it might not be, sometimes they had prisons, you do visits, last name A to N, Mondays, M to Z on Tuesdays. So he might be there, might not be his visiting day.
Okay.
So ask, is he there, and can he have visits today? Then even go so far as to say what time of the visits that he's allowed. And they'll tell you, he's here, he can have visits 1 to 5. He's here, he can't have visits, and this is why. Because not that they don't care, it's not their responsibility to send out notices to all the
Right.
family members that your kid can't have a visit today.
Right. So we got to play our part. Yeah.
You got to know your part. You got to know your ignorance. If he can't have visits, you can get to the front desk. If you flew from Michigan, you flew from Alaska, the policy and the rule is not going to be overridden based on the distance you traveled. If he's in the hole, he's in the hole. If he's on COVID quarantine, he's on quarantine. They're not going to change it because you flew on a plane. The institution is its own little world. Have you figured that part out?
Yes. Yep.
You realize you're talking to people, it's like a whole other world there.
Learning that fast. Yeah.
But we're here for you. You have help. You're in the building with a lot of wonderful women, and we're going to help you through it. And he's going to bounce back. Grand Canyon, Utah will be my first 2 suggestions.
Yep.
It's doable. You all right? You was nervous.
Doing good. Yeah, I was.
You still nervous?
No, you were gentle. You were gentle.
I'm not mean anymore.
You do it anymore.
I've never been mean in my interviews.
Okay.
I can't be mean to somebody's mom. Because my mom used to sit in that chair. And she had 2 of us in jail. I did 14, my little brother did 24. and it was hard on her. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't
can
want anybody
imagine.
to judge my mom, treat her differently, be mean to her, be over the top.
Right.
So this whole weekend for me is a tribute to my mom. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, Andre Norman, your host, Hope Media, the Mom's Edition. What's better than that? We'll see you soon.